Hey, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you happen to be. I am Greg. I am also known as Knitting Daddy. You can find me on Ravelry as Knitting Daddy on Twitter and Instagram. And this is my first scheduled Scopecast. It is from the Central Carolina Fair. So we can get that in focus there. And yeah, it's great to see folks. And glad to see the hearts coming in. So I am at the Central Carolina Fair, and I'm just going to spin around a little bit and give you a view of the exhibit hall. It's early. The fair just opened at 5 today, so there aren't a lot of people here, which is great for being able to do something like this. Exhibit hall is nice and spacious, and there's some exhibits back there. Some of the youth things are back there under that yellow banner. It's a youth department. Hey, Chris, I'm glad you just got home from school and were able to join us. Here is some of the adult and senior adult exhibits. You can see the sign up there, and then some more exhibits here. And as I'm spinning around this long table on the left here is there's some crafts, and towards the back end are all the photography exhibits and some painting. And then this is one of my favorite parts right over here. This is the youth scarecrow category. And so, kids have been designing some scarecrows, putting some scarecrows up. So anyway, let me say hi to everybody. So here I am. Just wanted to say hey. For the most part, for camera view, because I'm going to show you some of the exhibits that we have here. This year I entered 9 items in the fair, and I am thrilled to say that all 9 of them got ribbons. So I'm going to just kind of show, we need to have that category nice. I'm going to just show off what I've got going on here, and then we can look at some of the other exhibits too as we have time. So first thing I want to show is my Cracker Jack scarf. This is a scarf that I actually just finished the day that I needed to drop it off at the fair. And this was a fun, thanks Rachel, I'm glad you love the scarf. I do too. It's a great pattern. It's based off of the Cracker Jack cowl pattern on Ravelry. And the idea is you pick your favorite baseball team and you follow them throughout the season, and each color in the scarf means something. In my scarf, or a cowl in my scarf, every 2 rounds it represents a game, and the colors are for if you win or lose. So for the Hoppers this year, if they won at home, I gave them a green couple of rounds. If they won on the road, I gave them orange. If they lost at home, it was white, and if they lost on the road, it was gray. And as you can see, there is a lot of gray and white in this scarf. The Hoppers had a horrible season this year, so I obviously picked the wrong year to do this. Yes, Hide Knits by Jamie too. Yes, I have heard they've got something like that for football too. I just saw about that a day or so ago. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's neat. It's a whole conceptual knitting idea. And I had a great time working with it. It was fun to be able to keep up with my team throughout the season. And this pulled up a 2nd place ribbon in the scarves category. So I'm really happy with that. I'm going to come around a little bit. Thank you, Knits by Jane. This purple dress here is also a dress that I did. I made this dress for my daughter in July. Thank you for the congratulations. I sewed some when I was in middle school, and I hadn't been sewing since then. So this year I wanted to relearn how to sew. So when I visited my parents in July, I got my mom to teach me, to reteach me how to sew, and she helped me with this dress. And it also got a 2nd place ribbon. Thanks, Chris. I'm glad you adore it. I do too. And I'm glad I was able to enter it, because it's hard to sneak it out of the house because my daughter wants to wear it all the time, which of course warms my heart. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. It's hard. One of the things that I have a difficult time here at the Central Carolina Fair is they don't really group a lot of the things by categories. They do somewhat, but it's kind of like they put things where they have room for it. So I think this white dress next to it is the dress. It's beautiful. It's hard to see it up close because of the barriers they have here. But I think it's the one that got first place in the child's dress category. I love the little. It's hard to see on the camera. It's some stitch work at the end. Oh yeah, sure. Knits by Jane. Catch the replay later. This is in North Carolina, knitting Kara. This is in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it covers several counties. It's my local county fair, but it covers a lot of the counties in central North Carolina. So anyway, as I look around some more, this adorable pink sweater was another entry that I did. It was in threes. It's a pattern that so many people have knitted. It's a wonderful pattern. Again, obviously for my daughter, little sweater for my daughter. It got the second place ribbon in the sweater category, and if I come over here, I can see this is the sweater that got the first place in the sweater category. And so this also, as you can see, this is obviously an adult sweater. So I think it's kind of a shame that the children's clothing and adult clothing have to compete in the same categories, because obviously whoever knitted this one spent a lot more time and effort than I did on my little sweater for my 3-year-old. So anyway, that is my sweater there. I'll come back over here. I kind of skipped over the fish hat that I knitted last year. It got first place in the hats category. This is such a fun knit as well. I think it was a nitty pattern. It's a free pattern. It's called Fish Dead or Alive or something like that. It's great to knit out of scrap yarn, and it is so fun to wear. It looks like you've got a dead fish eating your head. Yes, Chris, I love the hat too. Thanks for that. I wore it on my annual fishing trip last year, and it was just pretty awesome. Hey, lady, hey. No, I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'll be in Raleigh next month for the State Fair in North Carolina. This is the Central Carolina Fair in Greensboro, North Carolina. And this shawl is I'm particularly proud of. I knitted the shawl for my mom, whose birthday was last week. I told her that she's getting a shawl for her birthday, but she's going to have to wait until fair season is over because I'm entering in the fair. Yes, hey lady, hey, State Fair is in October. North Carolina State Fair is like the third week in October, I believe. And yes, Chris, there are beads. In a little bit you can see some of the beads here. This received the first place ribbon in the shawls category. Thanks. I believe I love the color too. Purple is my mom's favorite color, and I found this purple yarn. It is a Madeline Tosh yarn, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This pattern is the Candlelit Shawl by Helen Stewart. She's Curious Handmade. She has a wonderful podcast. I highly recommend it. And thanks for the congratulations. The judges seem to like it too, because I got the Judge's Choice ribbon for that. When I saw that big rosette, when I came in earlier this week and saw that, it literally took my breath away. So that was really special for me. So I've shown Mom pictures of it, and she liked it too. So she'll be getting to have it in a month or so. I'll probably take that to the State Fair as well. Thanks for the congratulations, Rachel. Some of the other things, this is all I have on this table. Oh wait, no, I have a dress over there. I'll get that in a minute. But one of the things I love, even when I didn't have anything I was entering in the fair, was just coming and looking at all of the beautiful things folks in my community are doing. Really cool sewing and bags and all of this needlework. This one over here was a really cool needlework that my wife and I saw when we were here earlier, and I love how it looks, and I'm really kind of surprised that there's no ribbon on it. But it's hard to tell what the judges are like. Yes, Chris, I did pretty much rock the fair. I'm really happy. One of the other things that rocked the fair for me was this dress. This was the Lily Rose dress by Tyga Hillard. A fun knit. I recommend it. I the whole stockinette part right here in the middle, or in the bottom part, that was I got bored with that pretty quickly, but I made it through. And then wonderful little rose leaf pattern. Yeah, it's so cute. And my daughter's worn it a couple of times. I didn't let her wear it much because I didn't want it to get too messed up before the fair, but she's worn it a couple times and she loves wearing it. It received the first place in the any other knitting category because there was not a category for knit dresses. So I'm not even sure what it was competing against. It's hard to tell what the other items in any other knitting were. I believe I have just 2 more items. Thank you for all the wonderful comments and the hearts. 2 more items that were mine. One of them is this sewn topsy-turvy doll. And this was the first sewn project that I did last year. I did this before that dress I showed earlier. Again, my mom helped me a lot with this, and it was a lot of fun. Oh, thanks, Anna. I am king of the fair. Well, yeah, maybe so. But there are a lot of other great things here too. I mean, maybe I'm the king of the knitting part of the fair anyway. This is a topsy-turvy doll that I got from a kit at a museum. So you turn it inside out, and it's got another doll on the inside. So that was a fun sewing project. And then finally, the item that I loved knitting the most was this doll, which took the first place in the infant items category because they didn't have a category for knitted dolls. So my choices for it were any other knitting or infant category. And yes, Anna, it is the Susan B. Anderson Mary doll from her Mary, Millie, and Minnie. Mary, Millie, and Morgan. And it was so much fun to knit. And it's you can see that she is wearing a little dress. She has a fancy skirt. She's wearing a sweater. She's wearing a shawl. All of those are separate pieces that come off, and you can dress her up. You can dress her in any or all of her clothing, and it's great. One of the things I loved about this pattern is that all the techniques in it are real techniques that you would use when you're knitting a human-sized shawl or a human-sized sweater, but you get to practice it on smaller things. Hey, lady. Hey, yes, Susan has seen it. I started this doll in a workshop that Susan had in Maryland earlier this spring. So she was given a workshop, and I went to as part of a retreat. So I started it then, and I finished it just a couple of months ago. And I know that she's seen the pictures of it on my Instagram and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. So I kind of felt bad about entering this into the infant items, because as you can see, the other things that are in infant items were hats and blankets and I think booties. Maybe those are the things I would typically think of as infant. Yes, and I'm all over Instagram. I'm Knitting Daddy on Instagram as well. And so it's kind of odd to have this doll in the same category as hats and blankets, but that's just how it is. At the State Fair in Raleigh, they have what I would consider more well-defined categories, so I think things are more interesting there. It is really nice. A lot of these things are under a glass case, so you can really get right up and look at them. So those are my items from the fair, and before I sign off, I'll just give you guys a quick look at some of the other things that are in the fair. These are some shirts and other garments. My friends made these 2 robes. The husband and wife made these robes. They were kind of competing against each other to see how they would do. They both got a ribbon, and so one of them got the first place and one got the second. Some other shirts, some nice. This is in the senior citizens category, and it's in the painted clothing. Someone painted this beautiful flower on a t-shirt. So there's other things here. I'll just keep walking around. This shawl was the second place in the shawl. My friend knitted that one, and yeah, I think it was beautiful as well. I really love how open the lace is on it. some others. And then most of these, I think, are youth and senior citizen entries. There's a patriotic category, so that's why we're seeing a lot of red, white, and blue here. Some more things under the glass here. Some of the items here were in the special needs category, so people with learning disabilities and other special needs have a category that they can compete in with themselves, which I'm sure is a lot more fun than being lumped in with other folks. I really like that. Love looking at some of these detailed needlework. I've seen this particular needlework pattern done several times. I love North Carolina, so I love seeing needlework about our state. They have things hanging back here. And some more things in the exhibit cases. And this exhibit case over here is one of my favorite exhibit cases because it has all of the antiques. So come down and be able to see some things better. So these are some of the really old stuff. This one is an other antique needlework. Beautiful embroidery on this. They don't have a year on it. Some old books, old Bibles, some antique. This was in the kitchen tools department. Kitchen tools collection. We've got an old colander, another kitchen tool. So it's been fun looking through that. Let me take you back over here to this table that's along the back here and show you what got best in show, because that was fun to look for too. A lot of the things over here were out of the category of what to do with old blue jeans. Someone made a Christmas ornament out of it, and someone made a pretty little bug. We have some collections. One of the things I like about our fair is it's kind of on a small scale, so it's really interesting, eclectic categories. There's a category on best wrapped present, so people wrap some presents. I love how this one looks like a shirt or a jacket. And we get into some of the scrapbooking and some other wood crafts and collections, and some stained glass over here. All this beautiful stained glass. And then if I look up here, you'll see this painting of a bunch of mason jars and wall jars. And that orange ribbon right there is the best in show ribbon. So this will be going on to Raleigh next month to compete against all of the other items that win best in show at the various agricultural fairs across the state. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that again. We have some wreaths. And I'll walk down here and show some of the pictures and paintings. I've been considering working on some photography and maybe entering some photographs in the future. It's really cool. It's really neat to kind of look around and see some wedding photography. There's some people climbing around and having fun. This is a really touching picture that really caught my eye when I was here earlier. A young hand and an old hand. That just tells a story right there. And then this, of course, tells a story of a beautiful joy with a baby. So those are some pictures there. So that pretty much brings us to the end of what's going on in the handcrafted items. So if anybody has any questions or would like to see something in more detail, I'll be happy to do that for you. You can type them now, and I am back. So I'm glad that you all joined me, and for the replay viewers, I'm glad that you're watching on replay. If you enjoyed this, I would encourage you to swipe the screen and tell it to share, or hit the pause. If you're watching on replay, hit pause and tell it to share. Share it to all of your Twitter or Facebook or Periscope friends so that they can come take a look at this too. Thank all of you very much, and I'm to my contact information. I am out of focus. There you go. I am Greg. I am Knitting Daddy on Ravelry, Instagram, and here on Periscope. You can send me email, greg@knittingdaddy.com, or you can also check out my blog. I just put up a new blog post yesterday morning at knittingdaddy.com. So check that out, and that's got some pictures of things here at the fair as well. And so follow me there, follow me on Instagram, and tell all your friends. So thanks so much. I've really enjoyed scoping with you guys today, and for now, be signing off.